All right, the next step on the shelf is to rip our board to its final width of 4.5 inches. The first thing that I should do is pull the guard towards me and lift it up and check to make sure that the blade height of the saw is correct in accordance to the thickness of our board. Right? The tooth of the blade should be the only thing we see above the thickness of the board. So this would be too high, and if we couldn't see the blade, it would also be too low. So we're going to use the depth adjustment hand wheel to make the tip of the blade just above the thickness of the board. Right? So that's our first step. So then we'll move this to the side. Our next step is to measure the distance in between the fence and the inside of the blade of 4.5. So I'll take my tape measure and measure 4.5 inches. Once I've achieved the correct width, I will lock the fence down with the fence lock handle and go ahead and pull my guard down and get ready for the next step. My next step is to actually rip the board on the table saw. All right? It's very important that we remember in our last couple of steps we made a flat face, which will go on our flat table. We also made a straight edge that goes up against our straight fence. So flat face on the table, straight edge against the fence. All right. I'm also going to have to use our push stick because the width in between here is less than 6 inches. So I'll have to use this to actually push it through in between the fence and the blade. So very important that I use that. All right. It's also very important that when you do this, that you have somebody catching the board on the other side of the table. You'll just see me stop, but it's important that you have somebody there to catch the board so it doesn't actually fall on the floor. All right. So we'll turn on the table saw. Please pay special attention as to how I cut the board on the table saw to make sure that you do the same.